Something I meant to talk about last week that we never got to is this David Collins 30-minute half-hour show. Now, he was messaging me for a while. This guy, David Collins, reached out to me on Instagram. Hopefully he follows Alec Baldwin. And he reached out to me and was very persistent in trying to get me on his show. And then he mentioned a couple like lower level comics that I had heard of that have been on. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm not saying it takes much to get me on your podcast. I'm just saying I didn't know who this guy was. So I needed a little background. And then I saw that Vinny Paulino was on, my buddy. And I said, okay, this guy's probably good people. So I said, yeah, definitely. And we finally scheduled a time. And he sent me the link for it, the StreamYard link. And I went in, and he was a little weird. I couldn't tell if he wanted me there even. And we kind of just started. He was a little standoffish. It was odd. And then the show just starts, and I didn't even realize he was starting. And then the rest happened here. So we're going to go through some clips. Either this guy is my favorite man in Brawl. Like, I think I love this guy. Or he might hate me, but even then, I think I still love him. I can't tell.
I'm going to start with what is this? Top 10 in color?
Yeah, so he gives us he starts with a list, and he goes, before he introduces me, he says, we're going to do our top 10 list. And just give it a listen.
Jerry brought up to me this week, we haven't done a top 10 list this season. Everybody knows how much I love a top 10 list. So we thought we'd do a David Collins 30-minute half-hour show top 10 list this week. Top 10 comics with the name Aaron. Starting off at number 10, Aaron Aronpur. Aaron Aronpur is an American stand-up comedian, artist, and voice actor from Dallas, Texas, best known for his 2016 stand-up special, In Spite Of. We have a great show planned for you today. Before we start...
Okay, hold on. I'm just listening, and I'm like, wait a minute. What about the other 9? He just moves on.
He had you on screen, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
See, so I'm like, that's weird. But then he moves on, and he gets into this. There's a little more of this left, right?
Oh, yeah.
Color of the day. Today's
okay, go back just a little bit. Oh, that was weird. I said, go back just a little bit. My phone opened. So he lists, he says, we're doing a top 10 list. He lists one name, and then he goes, and now we're doing color of the day. And this is where I was like, what the fuck have I signed up for?
Color of the day. Today's color of the day, permanent crimson. Permanent crimson is a shade of red. Well known as fugitive, it is translucent in the wild, made up of 200 red, 32 green, 54 blue. Today's color of the day, permanent crimson.
So I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going on?
A Tim and Eric type show.
Well, I didn't know that. I had no idea what I was getting into.
This is my guess.
I was like, okay, yeah, maybe he's being weird, or maybe he's just a weird guy. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him yet. So then we continue.
Yep, the sponsor. Meanwhile, you are still on screen.
And this is what I believe to be a fake sponsor, by the way, in hindsight.
My new sponsor of today's show, really looking forward to it. I asked Jerry to reach out to a local nonprofit this week since our guest today is actually blind.
Yep.
Today's sponsor, Audible Visions in Galena, Illinois. Audible Visions is a nonprofit organization who aims to make art, media, entertainment, and tourism more accessible to people with low vision and other disabilities. Audible Vision primarily serves the Galena area, hoping to expand to other regions around Illinois and nationally. Learn more at audible-visions.com.
So now my guard is up because I'm like, am I being fucked with? What's going on? But I want to be playful with the guy.
Yeah.
So we're at me now, right?
Yeah, Mike's intro.
Yeah, so I try to be playful with it. Again, this is David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. It's called. Go find it. He's on YouTube and everywhere else you get podcasts. So this is me trying to be playful and I don't know what happened really.
It's Blind Mike Geary, and we're going to get straight into world news with David Collins. And Mike, I like to ask this to any guest that we have on the show there. When I say world news, what are you thinking about this week?
Talking to me?
What do you think about the world news this
He
week?
just like I don't know what's going on. He didn't really introduce. I couldn't hear him that well because he started playing the music, and then he goes world news. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this.
Your face was very funny. Like,
He just throws world news at me. What are your thoughts on world news? Which is not something I ever talk about.
and I don't mean.
Sorry, so I was just like, okay, let's try that. Go back just a little bit.
Yeah, what are you thinking about? You think of world news this week?
I can't get past, and I don't mean to peel back the curtain. Maybe I'm ruining the bit here, but I was waiting for the rest of the top 10. I feel like you skimmed over some of the names.
Oh, well, we're going to get right into that. We like to do over the top 10 throughout the course of the show. And then at the end of the show, we've landed on number 1.
All right, interesting.
World news, though. Have you heard about this with Paris Hilton? She was getting a little backlash showing pictures of her baby. Did you see this?
I have not seen this, no.
People were making fun of Paris Hilton for her baby having a pretty big head. You didn't see any of these pictures, huh?
No.
Well, the thing that I got
many pictures ever. No.
I'm not sure what bad things you can say. Personally, I'm jealous that baby is going to be able to continue the family catchphrase, "That's hot air balloon." Why don't we look at number 9 on our top 10 list of comics?
Hold on. Now I'm like, is this Hack Ride?
yeah, maybe.
I was like, fuck. This could be Hack Ride. It could be an elaborate ruse where this has been Hack Ride the entire time.
Next, we got the news.
Yeah, so we get back into the news, I guess, and it's all stuff like that. What? But this guy doesn't break. Like,
That's impressive.
clearly now there's a bit afoot. This is kind of in the style of like, I don't know, a Zach Galifianakis thing.
Yeah, well, you can tell it's a bit strictly because every time you say something that has nothing to do with he's talking about, he's right on script.
He moves right on. Yeah. So, but he doesn't break the whole time. And I'll tell you what happened after the show when we get done with all of these, which is the part that has me most baffled still. But I want to play these because I want to promote him, because either way, no matter what's going on here, I found this very funny. So I want to promote his show.
I've enjoyed it so far.
Although, if that is a new TikTok trend, at least we'll be able to see Mike talk about it on one of his shows there. We'll get into that pretty soon.
Ooh.
Did you see about comedian Hassan Minhaj? He was in the news.
Hold on. By the way, he hasn't introduced me yet, really.
No, he just said Blind Mike Geary.
Yeah. Hasn't explained who I am or anything. Is he back in the news? We talked about his, basically he was exposed as a liar.
Right, it was a bit of an old story now. He was apparently embellishing some of his
just cutting me off at every turn. I say, like, he's like, "Oh, did you see this?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, that was a couple weeks old." Right. And he just moves on.
And up routine. I believe we have a clip here. We can take a little listen.
He grabs a stack of letters. He hands them.
Do I want to skip past this clip?
Yeah, just go to the end because you want to hear how he reacts to the clip.
Because I just don't want to
This
get
got us completely demonetized last time, so
completely. The O&A and Stern episode, not one thing.
yeah. We played a fucking Dean Martin song on that too.
Jesus, how long is this thing? So he's playing the clip and zoomed in on your face.
Is he?
Yeah.
See? So he's playing a Hassan Minhaj clip, and he apparently zoomed in on my face. I have no idea what's happening. Like he hasn't introduced me yet or anything. He's just like, "Here's a Hassan Minhaj clip that you guys talked about 3 weeks ago."
Now are you like, do I actually talk about this when it's over?
You're gonna see the evolution of my reactions. I'm like, what do I do here?
Well, I guess if it's all
Go back just a tiny bit, because I want you to hear where I'm like, so it is a bit that he's doing, right?
This was right after Hassan Minhaj stopped talking.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if
His laugh is what I'm referring to.
Oh.
And when there were things like that, he'd go, but just keep on going.
for the sake of the joke, It is too bad, though. It turns out all of his stand-up was just a Hassan Mirage.
All right, you're winning me over. I like this.
And that's great. Why don't we introduce today's...
That's great. He doesn't give a fuck about me.
Introduce today's guest, he says.
I thought so. By the way, I also can't tell if I assumed he was like a Minifan that reached out to me. And then when he kept mentioning WATS, I was like, okay, maybe he's like a WATP guy. I'm starting to think like he just found my name on the internet or something.
Maybe.
I don't know what happened.
Next we got Pay No Mind.
Yeah, I'm starting to think, guys. I don't know if you agree. I'm starting to think I'm being a little disrespected on this show.
This bit came from. Are you ready to play?
Oh,
Shock
very
Jock
excited.
Radio Trivia.
Yes, I'm ready.
Perfect. Why don't we jump into round one here? Before we do that, though, why don't we look at number 6 on our top 10 list of comics with the name Aaron? Jason Aaron is an American comic book writer, best known for his work on Marvel series Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Thor, Punisher Max, and the Avengers. And that's why Jason Aaron finds his place on our top 10 list of comics named Aaron.
Feels like we're bending the rules a little bit.
Why don't we look at round one here of Radio Trivia?
I'm trying to say because the last name is Aaron. Like, is that really a comic named Aaron? And he's giving me nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
It was like I didn't speak.
Next we got first question.
So he finally starts interviewing me, I guess.
So tell me about your history in broadcasting.
This is 15 minutes into the podcast.
Now here's something. You host so many shows.
Go back. Listen to me. I'm about to answer, and he was like, enough of this.
So tell me about your history in broadcasting. Now here's something. You host so many shows. Where did you start? Which is the first show that you began hosting?
The first show I ever hosted was Dirty Mike and the Boys when I was at Westfield State University. It was a college radio station.
Fascinating. Shout out KSDB. I also started in Manhattan State University too.
Okay. He just like asked me that so he could tell me his credits. And now I'm losing it, as you can tell. I think I get the bit, but again, I will get to why I'm not even. I don't know what happened, but you can hear in my voice there. I'm starting to come around. I'm understanding what's going on here.
It's definitely for sure a bit.
Yeah. Well, but I'll tell you. I'll see what you think after this.
This is you wrote. Is he fucking with me on this one?
I mean, clearly he is. But I guess my question is more like, is this a brilliant character, or is this about me? You know what I mean? Am I the target of something here?
I think so far I would say brilliant character.
If it's a great, I love it.
So you host so many shows now. You have Who Are These Socials? The Kirk Minahan Show. You do your own shows that you organize. How do you do what you do?
How do I just do it. I keep grinding, I guess. Keep my head down and put out content.
Here's a good question. You host the show, Why Are They Laughing? So you go over
Why
specials.
are you laughing, actually? I have to correct you.
It's Why Are You Laughing?
Yes, that's the title.
I always want to say, why are they laughing? Almost, why are these guys laughing over there? But it's why are they almost antagonistic. So
antagonistic.
Yeah, he's absolutely fucking with you.
But he likes me though, right?
I think.
I guess I'm saying, like, am I on the receiving end of some, or is this like is he trying to be like what Caleb Presley does?
I have to watch. I think that's what he's going for. I have to watch the Vinnie Paulino episode.
So that's the thing, is the clip that I watched. Well, pull up while we're playing the next clip. Actually, pull up his Instagram, because I'll have you pull up the main reason I think you might be a fan of this show.
David Collins in Instagram.
Yeah, it's like DC 30-minute half-hour show or something like that.
Okay, I'll try to
see if you can find it while we play the next. What's next?
WATS format.
Oh, yeah. So he kept mentioning WATS, which makes me think maybe that's where he found me or something. But yeah, he brings up our format, our style there.
Oh, right. We had this note here. Jerry, we wanted to talk a little about this. We're thinking about starting a podcast producer exchange program, but I'm not sure, just because we were talking, I'm not sure, this shouldn't have made it into the show notes for any reason. Well, I think it's a kind of podcast format. So I did want to talk about, you had mentioned this format before, but you
Doesn't make
work on
any
a show
sense.
called Who Are These Socials? And this really struck me as interesting because, of course, coming from radio myself, we're used to taking in callers and maybe getting some of their jokes in on the show. And you do something interesting on that show where you're actually having people watching the show send in jokes themselves, where you then read them on the show. That's an interesting format there. How did you guys kind of come up with that?
Well, I don't know if that's the format of the show. It's really just reading the chat. It's a way people super chat us, which is a way to, we don't have ads on the show, so I guess it's a way for the show to make money.
Right.
But I don't know if I would describe it as the format of the show.
Okay, well, I understand that. Well, I wouldn't describe, maybe people play video games, but it's kind of similar where it's more of an interactive. It's almost like you're all watching it together, whatever. How would you describe the format of Who Are These Social?
He just moves on.
What do you think this? There's a ton of David Collins's.
It's David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show.
All right. 30-minute.
If it's impossible to find, then so be
I
it.
found the full episode with Vinnie Paulino.
I was looking for his Instagram. It doesn't matter.
I'll find it. I will find
It
it.
doesn't matter. Hack Rad, see if you can find it while Craig tries to participate in the show.
Yeah, he is. That's what I'm saying. I didn't hear that last clip at all.
What's the next one?
Next we got hard-hitting questions.
He grilled me. Now, here's the other thing too: is I feel bad. I think I'd be a better guest on this show the second time because I know what the show is.
Yeah.
But this time I was like trying to get my footing. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I was not expecting this at all.
My favorite thing is the beginning of this clip is a screenshot of the Blind Mike Project YouTube.
Okay. Get over it, man. Believe it. Oh, let me go back. He has a clip. So he asks if I'm legally blind. And I say yes. And then he plays this very long clip from when I was on Very Good Show.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Or maybe when you guys were on my show or something.
That's a weird one to pull from.
And he plays a long clip of me telling some story about how I was texting a friend, but I reference like looking at my phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so he set this up as he's like, I'm a kind of a hard hitting guy. I got to call you out on this. And he plays the clip like accusing me of seeing. So that's where we are. Get over it, man. Believe it.
So in this story,
Sounds like
though,
Steve.
of course, it's a fun story
Does that sound like Steve?
He does a little bit, yeah. The laugh does.
about your friend and your interaction of the death of a legendary comedian. But two things happen in that story. Of course, the first thing that you notice is you're playing pool in this story, and in fact, somewhat impatient about how the game is being played, which strikes me as interesting. And the second thing is that you're taking texts during this story.
Yes.
So I'm curious how this all works. Were you blind in this story as well? Is this a new?
Are you suggesting this is all a ruse?
I just wanted to kind of address the situation. Jerry had found this clip, and I thought it was interesting that we couldn't find any information on it.
Hold on real quick, by the way.
That to be going wild.
Yep.
I'm currently of the opinion that Jerry doesn't exist.
Jerry is not a real person.
I don't think Jerry's a real guy.
Which clip from his Instagram you like?
It should be pinned to the top, I believe.
Of you?
But don't play it yet.
Of yours though, you mean?
Of his.
No, I know. I'm saying, is it the clip of you pinned, or was there
some? No. It's a clip of him.
Okay,
is it not on the top?
You're the latest thing on there.
This dirty dog. See if you can find a clip where he's promoting season 2.
Okay. All right, let me back this up and play it for a second.
Okay.
address the situation. Jerry found this clip, and I thought it was interesting that we couldn't find any information on it. We would have expected the internet to be going wild with the rumors on this, and it seemed to have just kind of gone to the wayside.
No luck, I assume.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have it. I was finishing that previous.
Oh, you
clip.
have it.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, save that, and we'll finish these clips and then play it.
All right, I'm just downloading it. That's all. Next we have
A little on the fly producing, folks.
on the fly here, especially with like the most impossible to find Instagram. Apparently, Hackride got it though. He did send it to me.
Attaboy, Hackride.
Next clip is called "Not a Ruse."
No, this is all very real. Legally blind. And so at the time, I could definitely see a little better. I guess you could say I could pose as sighted when I was in high school.
Okay.
And then over the years, my eyesight has worsened, degenerated, if you will.
Right.
Yes.
I see. Well, that's too bad there. I'm sorry to bring it up. We try to avoid negativity, but I was curious, maybe it was, I wouldn't call it a ruse, but it might be, something along those lines. Why don't we look at number
He just moves on.
It's just, Aaron.
I wouldn't call it a ruse. Maybe something along those lines. And then he changes the subject.
It's pretty funny.
He's very good.
This next one's just called errands.
Oh, this list of errands that I'm trying to participate in, and he's stonewalling me.
Aaron Kleber.
Nice.
Do you know any of these
finding
errands?
these names, can I ask?
Oh, these are fantastic comedians. The best errands that you could find
I've never heard of any of them.
Also comics here. Well, we have a brand new segment that we wanted to
So it's important to note. He says these are fantastic comedians. He mentions that they're comedians a couple of times. And so that comes into play later.
This is the last one.
Oh, maybe it's this one then.
It's called Mike is in Love.
I just fucking love this guy. Where I've noticed something going on throughout the show. I try to ask him about it, and this is what I get.
And a special shout out here. We did get an email here from Kevin Clancy in Massachusetts, who let us know that he got all of the answers correct last week with Anthony Zenhauser as a guest. He got all the answers correct on all of those games that week. So congratulations to Kevin there.
You sure he was in Massachusetts? I know a Kevin Clancy, actually.
Is that right? Maybe it's that same person. You'd be surprised the reach of this show. I'm not even sure what you might be listening to it on right now. It's become such a large show. Why don't we look at number 2 of our top 10 list here of comics with the name Aaron. Aaron from the comic The Walking Dead. Aaron was one of the original residents of Alexandria's safe zone.
I gotta say, I waited through this whole list. That feels a little underwhelming.
Well, of course, it's a famous Aaron there. Aaron was responsible for bringing Rick and his group into Alexandria and developed a close bond with the group, making Aaron one of Rick's most trusted allies. And that's why Aaron from the comic The Walking Dead finds himself at number 2 on David Cohen's 30-minute half-hour show list of top 10 comics with the name Aaron.
I feel like you said stand-up comic repeatedly.
Nope, comics with the name Aaron there. We have a new segment.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing that moves on. Nope. By the way, if you were wondering, number 1 was Aaron Berg.
Oh, at least you got one.
So then the show ends, and I go, hey man, that was all, like, sorry if I ruined it. I didn't know the bit going in, but like, that was hilarious. I really love that. And he goes, what? And I go, like, were you like fucking with me? And he goes, I don't know what you mean. And I go, oh, okay. Got it. Well, like, I'd love to come back anytime you'll have me. And he goes, well, you did do very good in the games, and the people that do well in the games, we do like to have back. And I go, okay, man, I'll see you later. And that was it. I just signed off. And then our only other correspondence is he messaged me and he goes, hi, Mike, this will be on YouTube. Here's the link. I was like, okay.
Oh, this guy's something, man.
I love this fucking guy. I hope he's part of our little world here going forward. I don't know. But you have his Instagram up.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure you found the one that I'm talking about?
This says he's promoting season 2. It's 13 seconds long.
It's got to be so I don't know if a lot of podcasts have touched on this. It's certainly very possible that he came to this on his own, but this is what makes me think he does listen to this program and enjoy it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm David Collins. A second season of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show is out now everywhere you find podcasts. Let's see who gets offended.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that's talked about that, but I do think he's a fan of the program.
Matt Rife just also happens to be like the most popular thing on earth.
Yeah, but you know what? I haven't heard a lot of specifically that line. I haven't heard that mocked a lot.
That's true. That's true. And
I'm not
you
saying
are,
we're the only ones that did it, but I just haven't heard
that's very funny.
it. Yeah.
We're gonna have to start watching his show.
Yeah, guys, honestly, go because he doesn't have a ton of followers. Go subscribe on YouTube, Instagram. What's his Instagram handle?
It is DC 30-minute half-hour show.
And the 30 is the number or the word?
Yep, the number.
Yeah. So go follow David Collins. See if we can get him to fuck with me again or whatever he was doing. But I really enjoyed that. I thought it was great.
I am now following him.
And then he used a clip from our show. This is again, he does not break character. He used a clip from our show where I'm like, I don't know if this guy was fucking with me or what. And the caption is just like, everyone's talking about David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show.
That's very funny. We should have him on this show.
I don't know how he'd be. I can't get a read on the guy.
Perfect. Me and Hackride should have him on the next David Liebhart interview.
Yeah, yes, that would be perfect.
Yes.